Alexander Armstrong, and a very warm welcome to Pointless, the quiz show where popular answers mean nothing and obscure answers mean everything. Let's meet today's players. And first, we welcome Keith and Stephen. You're our first pair today. How do you two know each other?
Me and Stephen have known each other about 20 years. First met when we were about 7 years old at our local chapel hall for Boys Brigade, so been best friends ever since.
Very good. Best friends ever since. What do you do, Keith?
I work for the fire service in the control room. Answer 999 calls, send fire crews out to the incidents.
What's the most ridiculous 999 call you've ever had to answer?
We'll get quite a few cats stuck up trees, believe it or not.
But that's so normal.
It does still happen.
Yeah, I guess you're allowed to ask the fire brigade, but maybe not on the emergency number, maybe.
Yeah, that's what we advise them to do.
Yeah. Stephen, what about you?
I'm a sales rep selling crisps in the East Midlands area.
Is it like working in a chocolate factory? Do you find yourself just going...
Yeah,
all the time?
pretty much, yeah.
Are you ever without a bag of crisps?
Never.
Never?
Apart from now, but...
Apart from that? Wow,
yeah.
well, that's such a shame. Well, very best of luck to the pair of you.
Yeah.
And next, we welcome Andy and Kelly. How do you two know each other?
Yeah, we've been together 6 years, but we've been married 5.5 years.
You got married after just half a year?
Yeah, a bit of a whirlwind. Shot up to Gretna Green.
You really did?
Yeah.
You went up and did it in style?
Yeah, we did that, yeah.
Very well done. Kelly, what do you do?
I've got a cleaning business. I've been doing that for about a year now, and I run it alongside Andy's cleaning business.
On the same house at the same time?
No.
No. Why not put them together? Have two clean. Have just one cleaning
Andy's
business.
more of an outdoors, I'm more of an indoors.
That seems perfectly complementary. A lot of houses I know have both. How extraordinary. Very good. What categories would you like to see come up this afternoon?
For me, true crime. I'm really into true crime.
True crime. Yeah. Like, do you read all those books?
Yeah.
Right. Well, how about you, Andy?
Possibly 90s films.
90s films?
Yeah.
OK,
yeah.
good to be specific. Good to know.
Eddie Murphy films.
Eddie Murphy films?
Yeah.
Just talking about true crimes.
Very good. Well, very best of luck to the pair of you. Next, we welcome John and Yvonne. Now, where are you two from?
We're from Lancing in West Sussex.
John, what do you do?
Well, a bit spooky. I'm a true crime writer. I write books on true crime.
How do you get all these things out of your head, or do you...
No, I've got a very strange head, so I keep them in.
I think it's a very fine head. But what do you do in your spare time, Yvonne? True crime!
Well, not quite true crime. We do murder mystery weekends.
Pretend crime!
But all the same theme, death.
You what? So you go off... So John writes murder stories by day, he collates the facts of true crimes, and then at weekends you go and reenact them.
Well, not the ones that he's actually written about, because these are made-up ones.
OK, do you devise the weekends, then?
Some of them we have done, but the ones we're doing at the moment are written by somebody else. We just have to act in them.
You have to act in them. That just sounds too funny for words. Well, very best of luck to the pair of you. It's great to have you here. And finally, we welcome back Stuart and Greg. You were on the show last time. Everyone gets 2 chances to reach the final in Pointless. This is your second chance. Remind us how you did.
We went out in the second round with the wrong answer, unfortunately, on the children of celebrities.
That was a very tough round, that. Very, very tough. I have a feeling that we're going to see a lot more of you this time round, and I hope the questions will suit you better. Anyway, very best of luck to you. We'll find out more about all of you throughout the show. There's only one person left for me to introduce. He is the ringmaster in the circus of unusual facts and figures. It's just getting ridiculous. He is my pointless friend. He's Richard, ringmaster.
Hello.
So what kind of a show have we got this afternoon, Richard?
Yeah, we've only got one returning pair today. That's Stuart and Greg. But they were very good last time, I think, and I suspect they may go further today. Everybody else is sort of like a killer or obsessed with killers or trying to catch killers or trying to put out fires started by killers. The whole thing is macabre.
The whole thing is macabre, isn't it?
If that's how you pronounce that word.
It is, it's macabre.
Sounded like I had one too many syllables in.
No, it's macabre. Thanks, Richard. Now, we've put all our questions to 100 people before the show, but this, of course, is pointless, so we are after the obscure answers that they didn't get. Now, what everyone's trying to do, of course, is to find a pointless answer. That's an answer that none of our 100 people gave, and each time that happens, we will add £250 to the jackpot. Laura and Adam won the jackpot last time, so the jackpot today starts off at £1,000. Right, let's play Pointless. Right, now in the first round, each of you must give me one answer and you cannot confer with your partner. Whichever team has the highest score at the end of the round will be eliminated. OK, our first category this afternoon is music. Music. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, let's find out what the question is. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Madness singles as they could. Madness singles. Richard.
Yeah, every single 40-something in the country is rolling up their sleeves now. Thinking, finally, a topic for me. We're looking for any single released by Madness or which featured them to reach the top 40 of the UK chart up to the beginning of 2011. If something's a double A side, we'll accept either answer, but we're not looking for EPs or any of Sug's solo singles. It's easy for you to say. There are 27 possible answers on the list, so very best of luck, everybody.
Right, Keith and Stephen, you all drew lots before the show, and this afternoon you get to go first. So then, Keith, a Madness fan?
Sadly not. I do like the music. Sadly, I can't think of too many of the songs. I've only got a couple going around in my head at the moment.
Do you like music? Is music one of your...
Yeah, I am quite a music fan, not a sort of a wide knowledge. I've got a reasonable knowledge. Sadly not on Madness singles, though. I do know one, however. I'm going to go for Baggy Trousers.
Baggy Trousers. Very well said, Keith. Baggy Trousers. You're hoping to score as few points as possible with that. Let's see if Baggy Trousers is correct, and if it is, let's see how many people out of our 100 said it. Very well done. 39. Not a terrible score by any means, Keith. 39, Richard.
Yeah, well done, Keith. It was a number 3 single in 1980.
OK, Kelly. Kelly.
I can think of two. Well, I hope they're Madness singles anyway. The one that I think might get the lowest is It Must Be Love.
It Must Be Love, the one that might get the lowest of the two in your mind.
Yeah.
Right you are. It Must Be Love. Let's see if that's correct. And if it is, let's see how many people said it. Right. Wow. 23. Very well done, Kelly. 23. It's a lower score than Baggy Trousers. That's curious, I think.
Do you think? I think Baggy Trousers is it slightly better known, maybe?
Maybe. It Must Be Love. I always thought it was used a lot in film soundtracks and things.
It is a cover version of a Labby Sifri song. 1981 Madness had a hit with it.
Very good. OK, thanks, Richard. Now then, Yvonne. Remember, we are looking for Madness singles.
When the question came up, I thought I only knew one answer. But then Keith gave up Baggy Trousers, and I thought, oh, I knew that one as well. I think this one is a Madness song. I'm not sure. I'm going to go for possibly Welcome to, in brackets, The House of Fun.
You're hoping to score as few points as possible with this. Let's see if House of Fun is a correct answer, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. House of Fun. It's right. Very well done, Yvonne. It's right, and down it comes. 29. Nice median score there. House of Fun, Richard.
Yeah, their first number 1, House of Fun, from 1982.
Very good indeed. Thanks, Richard. So then, Greg, Madness.
I've seen Madness a couple of times in the last few years, both at Glastonbury.
Very good. Are you a fan?
I am quite a fan, yeah. A good band, good band. So I'm going to go for one of their singles, which I think is one of their later ones, called NW5.
NW5. Very well said, Greg. Well, you're hoping to score as few points as possible. Let's see if it's a correct answer, NW5. I have a hunch it must be, and it will be going a long way down if it is. Let's see, NW5. Is it right? How many people said it? Well done. Very, very well done, Greg. That's fantastic. That's a pointless. It adds 250 quid to today's jackpot, taking the total up to £1,250, and it scores you nothing. Very well done. NW5, Richard.
Brilliant answer, Greg. Very well played. As you say, it's one they released after they reformed from 2008, which is number 24. And NW5 is where they're from, of course.
Very good indeed. OK, well, we're halfway through the round, so let's take a look at the scores as they stand. Greg's brilliant answer just then, NW5, earning him quite justly a pointless answer. No score at all on the board. Then we go up to Kelly's answer, 23, not bad. Yvonne, 29. And then Keith turned out to be quite a costly one, that baggy trousers, 39, quite a high score. OK, we're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, so Stuart, we are looking for Madness singles. As we discovered last time, you work for PPL. You collect royalties for the music industry. So I can't help but thinking this is a subject that you must know in your sleep.
Yeah,
Madness singles.
I'd probably get a bit of stick back at work if I get this one wrong, I would have thought.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for Our House.
Our House, OK. That's what you're going to say. There is your red line. If you get below that red line with Our House, you are through to the next round. Let's see if Our House is correct, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. It's correct. Oh, 41 for Our House. Takes your score up to 41. Richard.
Yeah, very big score. So they're from NW5, which was nothing, but much more specifically, they're from Our House, which scored a lot.
Yeah, that was right in the middle of, I forget which street.
I think it was in the middle of their street, I think it was. Oh. It was a number 5 hit from 1982, a big hit in America as well.
Right, thanks very much, Richard. OK, now, John, remember, we are looking for Madness singles. You are on 29. The high scorers currently are Stuart and Greg on 41, which means if you can score 11 or less with this, you are through to the next round.
The only answers I knew, I'm afraid, have already gone, so we could be in for a fairly high score here.
Here's fun.
I'm going to say, complete guess, stab in the dark, My Boy.
My Boy. There is your red line. If you can get below that red line with My Boy, you are through to the next round. What do you think, Yvonne?
I think it was very nice to be here, and we'll see you again.
It ain't over yet, Yvonne. My Boy. OK, let's see if it's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said it.
What a surprise.
Bad luck, John. My Boy is an incorrect answer. It scores you the maximum of 100 points, takes your total up to 129. Richard.
Yeah, sorry, John, I will detail the reasons why that's wrong at the end of the round. So it's something to look forward to.
Now then, Andy, you are on 23. Doesn't matter what you come up with now, you are still through to the next round. So now might be a perfect time to have a bit of a punt on a pointless answer, maybe. We've had one pointless answer with NW5. I reckon there will be other pointless Madness singles out there.
Certainly not going to give you a pointless answer.
God.
I had 3 and a possible 4 that's already been said. I've got one which I think maybe, if it's not Madness, someone sung it. So we'll go for it. The Joker.
The Joker.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what you score, you are through to the next round. So, The Joker, is it correct? And if it is, how many people said it? The Joker. Bad luck, Andy. Someone sung it. That scores you 100 points, takes your total up to 123. Maybe Richard can tell us who sang it.
Yes, it was the Steve Miller Band did The Joker. And, of course, his brothers, Ed and David, later went into politics.
Now then, Stephen. Remember, we are looking for Madness singles.
Yeah.
A lot is riding on you here. If you score 100 points, you will be leaving us at the end of this round. So I'm hoping you have something up your sleeve that is a Madness single. If you can score 89 or less, you are safely through to the next round.
Right, struggling with it. I've been racking my brains. All the popular ones I know have actually gone. I'm going to have to take a bit of a punt. I've got one. The only thing is I'm not sure if it's Suggs or Madness, so I'm just going to say it, and it'll either get us there or it's going to score 100, I'm afraid. My answer is Camden Town.
Camden Town. OK, well, let's see if Camden Town is right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. There's your red line. If you're below that red line, you're through to the next round. Good luck. Oh, bad luck, Stephen. That is an incorrect answer, unfortunately, which means you score the maximum of 100 points, taking your total up to 139. That's a last-minute reprieve for John and Yvonne. Oh, Camden Town, Richard.
Stephen, that's so unlucky. You're exactly right. It was a hit for Suggs, Camden Town. A lot of Madness songs sort of set in and around Camden Town as well. But no, it's a real shame. There's a huge amount of answers left out there as well, a number of which are pointless. So let's take a look at some of those first. Waiting for the Ghost Train was pointless. Love Struck, which is the first single that they came back with when they reformed. NW5 we've already had from Greg. One Better Day. Shame and Scandal, Sorry, these are all pointless answers. Return of the Lost Palmer 7, which is one of the very early instrumentals. It was a top 10 hit, as was Tomorrow's Just Another Day and Yesterday's Men. All of those are pointless answers. Very well done if you've got any of those at home. There's all sorts of things we missed out. Driving in My Car, all sorts of songs. And John, when you said My Boy, they actually had a big hit with My Girl. Oh. And that song was then released by Tracy Ullman as My Guy. But you really weren't a million miles away from a correct answer there.
OK, well, thanks very much, Richard. So at the end of round one, the losing pair with the highest score. I'm so sorry, Stephen and Keith, it's you. Dear, oh dear.
Never mind it.
Camden Town, well, you see, Suggs. It's just the sort of song Madness would have sung.
That's it. I knew it was touch and go whether it was Suggs or Madness, so I had to go for it.
Yeah, that was really tough.
Yeah.
Really tough. What category would you have liked to have come up, Steve?
Sport, football in particular.
Football.
That would have been good.
Keith?
Probably film, words.
Words.
Any other sort of music other than Madness singles, possibly?
Oh, dear. Dear, well, it's such a shame to say goodbye to you so early on, but we will, of course, see you again next time when I'm sure you will be better served by the category we give you. Anyway, look forward to that very much. Thanks so much for playing. Meanwhile. So for the remaining three pairs, it's now time for round two. Now, obviously, only two pairs can make it through to the head-to-head, so one team's going to be leaving us at the end of this round. Make sure it's not you. Our category for round two this afternoon is famous women. You will decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second. And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, our round two question concerns famous Annes. In this round, we're about to show you some descriptions of famous people who share the first name Anne. We asked 100 people to tell us their surnames. Richard.
Yeah, we're going to show you 6 descriptions in each pass. Each of them gives a clue to an Anne, an Annie or an Anna. The more obscure the answer, the fewer points you're going to score. If you give us an incorrect answer, you'll score 100 points, and see how many of the 12 you can get at home.
OK, thanks, Richard. So we are looking for the surnames of these famous Annes. All right, and we have got... Second wife of Henry VIII, US celebrity portrait photographer, presenter of The Weakest Link, American markswoman of the Old West, author of Agnes Grey, wife of William Shakespeare. Let me read those again. Second wife of Henry VIII, US celebrity portrait photographer, presenter of The Weakest Link, American markswoman of the Old West, author of Agnes Grey, wife of William Shakespeare. So, Andy, there are our famous Annes. See if you can find the most obscure one on that board you can.
Right, I know three of them.
Not really much you can do to prepare for this.
I don't think it's obscure. I don't think it'll be the highest. The wife of Henry VIII.
OK.
Anne Boleyn.
OK. Anne Boleyn. We have from Andy. There she is, right at the top. Second wife of Henry VIII. Let's see if Anne Boleyn's right. And if it is, let's see how many people knew that answer. Anne Boleyn. It's right. 55. $55 for Anne Boleyn, Richard.
Yeah, it's either Anne Boleyn or Anne of Cleves, isn't it? Which I guess is what the others thought. Yeah, she was, of course, executed by Henry VIII.
OK, now then, Yvonne. Yvonne. Annes. There they are. How many of those do you think you might know?
I think I might know 3. which is better than the Madness songs. The one I'm going to go for, which I think might be more obscure than the other two I know, is The American Markswoman, which is Annie Oakley.
Annie Oakley. Annie Oakley, you are saying. OK, that sounds like a nice, obscure one to me. Let's hope it's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said it. Annie Oakley. Very good. Well done, Yvonne. I think this will be a low scorer. Down it comes. 31. Not quite as low as I was expecting, but that's a respectable score nonetheless, Yvonne. Annie Oakley, Richard.
Yeah, well played, Yvonne. Annie Oakley, of course, is the subject of Annie, Get Your Gun.
But now we come to Greg. Remember, we are looking for the surnames of these famous Annes. Now, Greg, you're the last person to have this board, so you can talk us through all these famous Annes. I think you might know a few of them.
Well, I think I know 3 of them. I'm torn between 2 at the moment. A famous Anne author, although I don't know she wrote Agnes Grey, I can think of Anne Bronte, but I'm not 100% certain. I think the presenter of The Weakest Link is Anne Robinson, but I think that's going to be fairly high scoring. I haven't got a clue about the photographer. I think the wife of William Shakespeare is Anne Hathaway, so I'm going to go for that.
Anne Hathaway. John is nodding. Yvonne nodding as well. Was that one of the ones you knew? Right, Anne Hathaway. OK, well, let's see if it's right. And if it is, let's see how many people knew Anne Hathaway. It's correct. 38. Not a bad score at all, Greg. Very well done. Anne Hathaway, Richard?
Yeah, well done, Greg. Also very wise to avoid the presenter of The Weakest Link. It would have scored you a very hefty 65 points, was Anne Robinson, of course. You were right that the author of Agnes Grey is Anne Bronte. It would have actually been a much better score, just 8 points. The best answer on the board is the US...
Leibovitz.
Annie Leibovitz, exactly. 5 points, best answer up there.
Thank you very much, Richard. So, well, we're halfway through the round. Let's take a look at the scores at the moment. Well, Yvonne, best score of the lot. Now then, we come up to 38. That's Greg's score. Not a bad score, as it turns out, for Anne Hathaway. And then Andy, 55. That was quite an expensive one, the Anne Boleyn one. So Kelly and Stuart, you're the 2 people who've been battling it out, I think, to stay in the game. Very best of luck to the pair of you. OK, we're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, we're going to put 6 more famous Annes on the board. Here they are. Russian 1997 Wimbledon singles semi-finalist. Ballerina inspired a meringue dessert. Played Mrs. Robinson in The Graduate. Lead singer of the Eurythmics. Hosted Good Morning with Nick Owen. Author of Interview with the Vampire. Let me read those all again. Russian 1997 Wimbledon singles semi-finalist. Ballerina inspired a meringue dessert. Played Mrs. Robinson in The Graduate, lead singer of the Eurythmics, hosted Good Morning with Nick Owen, author of Interview with the Vampire. And remember, we are looking for their surnames, and you're trying to find the one that the fewest of our 100 people knew. Good luck, Stuart. Tell me what that board says to you, Stuart.
There's a couple up there that I think I could go for. I suppose, though, keeping the music theme going, I should go for the music one. So I'm going to go for the lead singer of the Eurythmics and say Annie Lennox.
Annie Lennox, lead singer of the Eurythmics. OK, let's see. Here's your red line coming in. If Annie Lennox can get you below that red line, you are definitely in the next round. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people knew Annie Lennox from the Eurythmics. Well, it's right. 60. Oh, that's a big score. Yeah, Stuart, that scores you 60 and takes your total up to 98. Annie Lennox, Richard.
Yeah, very big score. She's been very popular for a long time, hasn't she, Annie Lennox? She studied flute at the Royal Academy of Music for 3 years, Annie Lennox.
Now then, John, remember, we are looking for the surnames of these famous Annes. What are you thinking of this board?
Much better than the last idea with Madness. There are about 3 I know. It's just a question of which one I think will score lowest. I'm going to go, I think, for played Mrs. Robinson in The Graduate, Anne Bancroft.
Anne Bancroft. Very good. Yvonne is thrilled with that answer, I can tell you now. Beyond thrilled. There is your red line. If you get below that red line, Anne Bancroft, we'll be seeing you into the head-to-head. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Anne Bancroft. Very well done. Down it goes, still 23. Very good answer. 23 takes your total up to 54. Richard, Anne Bancroft.
Yeah, well played, John. She was married to Mel Brooks for over 40 years, Anne Bancroft.
Very good, thanks, Richard. So, Kelly. Now then, Kelly, it all stands or falls on your answer here. If you can score 42 or less, we say goodbye to Stuart and Greg. If you score more than 42, we will be saying goodbye to you and Andy.
I knew both of those. The Graduate is one of my dad's favourite films, and the Eurythmics is one of my dad's favourite groups. But I do still know two, I think.
What's your dad's favourite pudding? You can talk us through the board. You're the last person to have it. So,
I think the Russian Wimbledon singles semi-finalist was Anna Kournikova, and I know that Anne Diamond hosted with Nick Owen on Good Morning, but it's which one's the lowest, and I'm going to go for Anne Diamond.
Anne Diamond hosting Good Morning with Nick Owen. OK, here comes your red line. If you get below that red line with Anne Diamond, you are through to the head-to-head. Above that red line, we say goodbye to you, and Stuart and Greg remain with us. OK, let's see if that's right, and let's see how many people said Anne Diamond. It's right. Paul, you're through. Just 36 points. That scores you taking a total up to 91. Richard.
Yeah, well played, Kelly. They did over 600 shows between them in 4 years. Anne Diamond currently to be found on Radio Berkshire. Let's take a look at the rest of them. You were quite right, Kelly. It's Anna Kournikova is the tennis player there. That's just about the most impressive thing she did, which is very well known, 21 points. The ballerina is, of course, Anna Pavlova. That would have scored you 35, though. And do you know the bottom one, author of Interview with the Vampire? It's the best answer on the board.
Is it Annie Proulx?
It's not, actually. It's Anne Rice.
Anne Rice.
Anne Rice, and would have scored you 10 points. So very well done if you got Anne Rice.
OK, thanks very much, Richard. So at the end of round 2, the losing pair with the highest score. Oh, it's round 2 again. Oh, Stuart and Greg. Oh, dear, oh, dear. I'm so sorry. That was a tough one, the Anns.
The Stuarts would have been better, that, or Greg's.
Stuarts or Greg's? Yeah. Inevitably. So sorry to be saying goodbye, but thanks so much. You've been great contestants. Thanks for playing. But for the remaining 2 pairs, things are going to get even more exciting now as we enter the head-to-head. So very well done, John and Yvonne, Andy and Kelly. You've made it through to the head-to-head. Now, obviously, only one pair will be making it through to the final and playing for today's jackpot, which currently stands at £1,250. You're going to go head-to-head on the best of 3 questions. For each question, each pair needs to give me just one answer, but you are now allowed to confer. All you have to do is come up with an answer that scores less than the other pair to win that question. And the pair who get the best of 3 will be playing for today's jackpot. Let's play Pointless. OK, here is your first question. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many men who have walked on the moon as they could. Men who have walked on the moon, Richard.
Yeah, we're looking for any of the 12 men who've walked on the moon as up to the start of 2011.
OK, John and Yvonne, because you've played best throughout the show so far, you get to go first. We are looking for men who have walked on the moon. OK, you have an answer.
I think most people come up with the first man who walked on the moon, so we'll go for the second, Buzz Aldrin.
Buzz Aldrin. OK, Buzz Aldrin, say John and Yvonne. Andy and Kelly.
That was actually my answer.
Well, that was one of the other. The other one is the obvious, which is going to be higher. Neil Armstrong.
Do you know any more? Neil Armstrong.
So we have Buzz Aldrin, we have Neil Armstrong. Let's put them up in the order they were given. John and Yvonne said Buzz Aldrin. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. .43 for Buzz Aldrin. Andy and Kelly have gone for Neil Armstrong. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said that. 71. OK, so after the first question, it is 1-0 to John and Yvonne. Richard.
Yeah, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, obviously a lot of people said. It's always a rather good quiz question. Who was the third man to walk on the moon?
It's a great quiz question.
Pete Conrad is the answer to that
What
question. You'll see his name up
poor
here in a minute.
Man. He's neither remembered as the first, nor has he given his name to a popular child's toy and film character.
Anyway, let's take a look at the 12 people who've walked on the moon. I heard you say Gene Cernan, but you wouldn't go for it. Actually, it would have been a correct answer. Would have scored you 1 point. John Young and Harrison Schmitt and Alan Bean, they also would have scored 1 point. David Scott and Charlie Duke scored 2 points. Edgar Mitchell also 2. Jim Irwin 3. There's Pete Conrad, the third man on the moon, with 5. Alan Shepard 8, and there's Buzz Aldrin 43, and Neil Armstrong 71, right up at the top.
OK, thanks very much, Richard. Here is your second question. Now, Andy and Kelly, you have to get this point. If John and Yvonne win this question, they are through to the final. Right, we gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many South Park characters as they could.
We're looking for any of the 6 characters who've appeared in over 100 episodes of the series South Park up to the beginning of 2011.
Thanks very much, Andy and Kelly.
The only one I can think of is Kenny.
Kenny.
Yeah.
OK, you're going to say
If that's right.
Kenny. John and Yvonne, South Park characters.
The only one we can think of is Kenny.
Obviously great
they've killed
South Park
Yes,
fans.
I know.
What about Gus? That sounds
Yeah,
like
that
an
sounds
American
nice.
name.
It's an American name, yes. Gus.
Gus. OK, we have Kenny, we have Gus. Andy and Kelly have said Kenny. Let's see if it's right. If it is, let's see how many people said Kenny. It's right. 47. .47. John and Yvonne have said Gus. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said it.
Oh, this is shocking.
Bad luck, bad luck. Andy and Kelly win that point. So after 2 questions, it is 1-1. Richard.
Yeah, Kenny, good answer for all true crime fans, because he's killed in almost every single episode in the first 5 series. So let's take a look at all 6. So there is a pointless answer here, actually. Sheila Brovlovsky, so very well done if you said that at home. Pointless answer. There's Stan with 10, Stan Marsh. Carl Brovlovsky, 16. Chef, 21. Eric Cartman, 30. And Kenny's right up the top there with 47.
OK, thanks very much, Richard. Here is your third question. Whoever wins this question, in your case, Andy and Kelly, you will clean up. John and Yvonne, you have to win this question if you want to go through to the final. OK, we gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many adult teeth as they could.
Yeah, we're just looking for the names of any of the 4 categories of adult teeth in the human mouth.
Adult teeth. OK, well, John and Yvonne, you are to go first again.
We'll go for
opinion.
incisor.
Incisor. OK, incisors for John and Yvonne. Andy and Kelly.
I know molar.
Yeah, molar. Which one did you have out?
Um,
The deep ones. What's the deep ones?
This wisdom, the other one, but that's going to be high.
Which do you think would be best?
Go for molar.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to go for molar.
OK, you want molar. So we have incisors, we have molars. John and Yvonne said incisors. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said it. Incisors. It's correct. 67. Ooh. That's a high score, isn't it? 67. Andy and Kelly, you have gone for molars. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said molars. This will decide who goes through to the final. Bad luck. Bad luck, Andy and Kelly. We've had 3 questions, and after the 3rd question, John and Yvonne are through to the final 2-1. Richard.
Yeah, and you were mentioning wisdom teeth, Kelly. They are actually molars as well. They're your last 4 molars to go through. There is one sort of killer answer here. Let's take a look at all 4 of them. Best answer, all pre-molars, would have scored you 15. Then the canines on 48, and the 2 we've already had, incisors on 67, and molars with 82.
OK, well, thanks, Richard. So the losing pair at the end of the head-to-head, I'm afraid it's Andy and Kelly. Ah, that was a tough one. That was really a tough one, wasn't it? Teeth through you. I think that was a really tough head-to-head, that one. But you did very well. You got one of them, which was great. Anyway, we will see you again next time. But thanks very much for playing. Great contestants. Thank you. But for John and Yvonne, it's now time for our pointless final and the chance to win our jackpot of £1,250. So congratulations, John and Yvonne. You've fought off all the competition and you have won our coveted pointless trophy. Very well done. You now have a chance to win our pointless jackpot, and at the end of today's show, the jackpot stands at £1,250. There it is. Now, the rules are very simple. To win that money, all you have to do is find a pointless answer. That's an answer that none of our 100 people could think of. We've had 1 pointless answer on the show today. You just have to find 1 more now, and you will go home with that money. First, though, you've got to choose a category from these 3 options, and you can go for golf, wildlife or theatre? Golf, wildlife or theatre? What do you think?
I think we can rule out golf.
Golf, definitely out.
OK.
We like the theatre. We go to the theatre a lot, but we don't know a lot about it.
Wildlife could be a very wide category.
Yeah.
So what do you want to go for? You pick.
I want to go home. Go for the theatre.
Go for the theatre.
You want to go for the theatre. Very well done. What sort of question would you like on the theatre?
Maybe plays by particular author, playwright.
Any particular playwright you'd like?
Shakespeare.
That would be
Really?
good.
OK. Let's see what that question is. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Broadway plays of Arthur Miller as they could. Arthur Miller, Richard.
Yeah, we're looking for the names of any of the 13 Arthur Miller plays, either full-length or 1-act, that have been performed on Broadway up to the start of 2011. It's 13 plays. Very best of luck.
OK, you now have up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers. All you need to win that £1,250 is for just one of those answers to be pointless. Your 60 seconds start now.
Did he do The Death of the Salesman?
Yes, I think so. And then we've got the 2 tropics.
2 tropics. Have we got any other?
Shall we go for those?
Well, have we got anything else?
Not really.
Well, that's all we've got.
Yep, I think we'll go for those 3. Don't think they'll be pointless, but we'll see.
So you have 3?
Yes.
We have 3.
We're going to stop the clock. Look at that.
Well, they're not very good
Stopping the
ones,
clock.
but-
It doesn't matter. We'll discover. They may be. We were looking for the Broadway plays of Arthur Miller. We needed 3 of them. What 3 answers are you going to give me?
Tropic of Cancer,
Tropic of Cancer,
Tropic of Capricorn,
Tropic of Capricorn,
Death of a Salesman.
and Death of a Salesman. OK, there they are. Of those 3, which do you think is your best shot at a pointless answer?
Death of a Salesman.
Death of a Salesman. OK, we'll put that last. Which should we put first? You're least confident.
Tropic of Cancer.
Tropic of Cancer. OK, we'll put them up in that order. Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, and Death of a Salesman. There they are. We were looking for Arthur Miller Broadway plays. You said this was the answer you had the least faith in to be a pointless answer. You only have to find 1 pointless answer, remember, to win that £1,250 jackpot. OK, well, let's see if Tropic of Cancer is a correct answer. And if it is, let's see how many people said it. Tropic of Cancer. This is your first shot at the jackpot.
Not looking good.
Good start.
Bad luck. Tropic of Cancer, an incorrect, therefore not a pointless answer. So you only have 2 more chances to win today's jackpot. I'm guessing Tropic of Cancer was the sister play to Tropic of Capricorn.
Also not written by Arthur Miller, I would guess.
It's possibly fair to guess that. So let's just put that one to the test now, shall we? We are looking for Arthur Miller Broadway plays. Your next answer, Tropic of Capricorn. You never know. Tropic of Capricorn. Let's see if that's a correct answer, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. It has to be pointless, of course, and correct for you to win that jackpot.
Oh, yeah. A good start.
OK. You now only have one more chance to win today's jackpot of £1,250. We are now entering the phase where... well, no, you have... This is your confident answer. What would you do with £1,250?
I think we'd have a holiday. Yes.
Yeah. What about you, John? Same holiday? That would be...
Somewhere nice and quiet.
Yeah.
No Madness records.
No Madness records. Maybe taking an Arthur Miller play.
Yes.
OK, well, this is your last answer. This was the one you had the most faith in, Death of a Salesman. This has to be pointless for you to win that jackpot of £1,250. It has to be by Arthur Miller, and it has to go down to 0. Let's see if either of those things might happen. Death of a Salesman. Was right. This has to go all the way down to 0 if you're going to win that jackpot of £1,250. Down it goes. Ooh, down into the teens, down at single figure. Oh. Bad luck. Now, unfortunately, you didn't manage to find that all-important pointless answer, so I'm afraid you don't win today's jackpot of £1,250, which will roll over to the next show. But you have been amazing contestants, and you do get to take home our pointless trophy, of course. Now then, Richard.
Yeah, well, Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn were Henry Miller. That's where the confusion came. There are a number of pointless answers, though. Let's take a look at some of them. Memory of Two Mondays from 1955, that was pointless. Incident at Vichy, which is a World War II play. The American Clock, about the Great Depression, that was pointless. The Creation of the World, another business about some of the early stories of the Bible. The Man Who Had All the Luck, The Price, those were both pointless. And The Ride Down Mount Morgan. Very, very well done if you've got any of those at home.
Thanks very much, Richard. Did you recognise any of those?
Not a single one.
Well, that's some consolation, isn't it? It'd be awful if you knew 5 of them. Well, unfortunately, we do have to say goodbye to you, John and Yvonne. It's been fabulous having you on the show. You've been great contestants. Thank you so much for playing. Thank you.
Thank you.
So nobody's won our jackpot today, which means it rolls over onto the next show when we will be playing for £2,250. Join us next time, see if someone can win it. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.